Don't,
Two-parter.
That's in character.
did you end the recording already?
New part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, because he's gonna be
Harkin
like,
is walking out.
yeah,
The door
no,
is closing.
it's literally, Hana forgets, and an hour later he's like, shit.
Shit.
And then he messages, and he's like, I forgot to talk to you about something.
Harkin this time just makes the call. What?
Mint is dead.
Okay, 1, how do you know that? 2, why do I care?
Just thought you should know. 1, 2, was informed by a potential agent within the drop who was working with him. Does the name She Swale ring any bells to you?
Um, He will give a roll. Harkin, you have a big brain, and you're not injured, and you're not losing your shit.
All good things.
Advantages everywhere.
Holy shit. Yeah, actually, no, yeah. She was like brooding fucking bodyguard type.
Well, she's here. She's no longer human.
But she wasn't swale. But she wasn't fucking called. But she wasn't mince. She worked. She was. No. She. Fuck.
She said she
God.
worked with the NGR. Is that correct?
She worked for the NGR, all right, but she followed someone else around. Some other fucking doctor person. They weren't a doctor. They were one of the fucking like executors of like the NGR, like one of their like directors or something, like one of their like business people. I'm fucking in charge, sort of folk.
Really?
Yeah.
Any memory of the name? Was it also a color?
Millie Blue.
Millie Blue.
Fuck, we go back to the colors every fucking time.
Mindy was onto something there.
Holy fuck. What's
Millie
up with
Blue.
their obsession of the fucking colors?
It's probably code for something.
Why colors? Why make it so glaringly obvious that it's colors?
Well, I don't know. It didn't just occur to you that it was colors till now, just now, did it?
It didn't occur to me that it was colors until like I sat through Mindy's hour-long seminar.
So then the code works, because everyone hears it and they're like, well, that's a silly name. And then they keep moving.
Yeah,
Mindy also mentioned fauna being a potential reoccurring one.
Well, that one I don't know, but there's a lot of people with plant names, okay? Like...
Yeah, I know.
Fuck. There's also a lot of people with color names, too, but, like... It's weird that it keeps on happening in relation to this bullshit.
Alright. But, so Millie Blue is who Swale worked for. That's strange. She mentioned she was working for Mint. However, she did say that the person she was working for is on the drop. And it's not Mint. Could that imply that Blue's here?
It could, yeah. Maybe they were working for someone else, too? Like, fuck, there's too many unknowns. And you said they're, like, not human anymore? How were you able to have a conversation with them then?
It's almost like their genetics have merged with the R-type. They have mutated, but they still, to some degree, have kept their mind. Keep in mind, they are insane, to put it lightly. They believed that we were agents of NGR, and we let them believe that, but their mind is not fully there. They've kept enough humanity to not be immediately hostile, but they're he just sends a write-up of the mutations he saw of theirs.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes.
And I'm not even, like, religious.
That's a
This-
very old one, too.
Fuck. I feel it's appropriate.
It's given what we're dealing with.
JFK, okay? JFK. Oh, well, JFC, I guess, but, you know. It sounds better, JFK.
Anyway.
So. That's a, that's terrifying. And they're insane, you said? Like,
They're
off their fucking rockers insane? Like,
not off the
like,
rocker. They're still
derogatory
functional.
insane? Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
To
clinically insane?
some degree, detached from reality.
Oh.
Still
At least, like,
completely capable of comprehending their environment, who they're talking to. Still very able to control motor actions.
have they had?
Still capable of
Have you
speech.
noticed sudden mood swings in them?
Nothing terribly obvious.
Sorry, this is like sorry, unrelated completely. This is just
No,
my mind
diagnosis
going
you
off.
need.
Oh.
Nothing terribly obvious as far as mood swings go. Paranoia, yeah, I think so.
I think that's just a winning survival trait in this place, to be honest.
Seems to be. They were at peace with their situation. They still believed they were on the mission. They seemed perfectly happy, actually.
Despite grotesque mutations, they are perfectly happy.
Yes.
Oh. Fuck. It
I
must
mean,
really be insane.
given how well their genetics combined with it, is it questionable to wonder if they are pleased with the result?
Isolation isn't enough to have someone have that level of just delusion. Delusions come from trauma, generally speaking, or other situation. Well, no, I guess if they've been here long enough, it could have gone buggy, and delusions are part of that. So maybe it is from isolation. Without more, I couldn't even like comprehend if like they're actually happy or not.
Mindy might have recordings of them. Grim was in the area when we were discussing, and I think they took to Mindy.
Mindy records fucking everything. I'll
talk to Mindy
let
to
me
get
grab
recordings. You can probably
Yeah,
diagnose from there.
that'd be a lot easier. So long
There's
as like, the facial
others like
structure
them.
isn't changed. There's more?
There's others like them. There was a child.
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 They're fucking breeding?
I think so. Or
Is this a separate fucking genus of fucking humanity? Oh, you can hear like the slight thud as he like leans on the fucking table. Oh, shut up again. This one's a heart attack. Ooh. Ooh.
you know, constantly diagnosing things that aren't really there. Isn't that a bit of a hypochondriac?
Yes, it is. Ooh. All right. Ooh.
But yes. In appearance, she had growth. She lost hair.
I need to repeat that. I was still getting over the fact that I nearly just died.
It's alright. Growth, lost hair, pale skin, not seemingly from lack of blood flow, but actual pigment,
Pigment
or
loss.
lack thereof.
Is
They were
is the
completely
art
sentient, capable of speech. They're being educated by others like them. They have an interest in mechanics, and they're learning. The way she spoke, it was like speaking to that of Mac or Sammy. Complete mental faculties. But they eat people.
that's kind of fucked.
Only,
And
yeah,
yet you're able to have a conversation with them.
yes.
So that's the
She,
implication that they don't view you as a prey. You're just another food source like anything else. That might be an implication that they recognize that you're still somehow kin, and that's partially cannibalism.
I think it depends on the individual.
It very well might. It's just the fact that certain cultures develop a knack for cannibalism, start to view others that are not of their culture as food. Take the
Food.
Marls, for example. They do not speak to people on a sociable terms. They speak to people as if they are prey.
Because it's just meat.
Yes, the Elysiums are touch or miss with that, but other cultures show similar signs, so it might be something like that. But if they're fucking breeding, if there's an entire fucking genus of them, holy fuck. Fuck.
It's a marvel.
It's fucking blasphemous is what it fucking is.
It reminds me of the ship. You recall when we went there to set up your sensors.
Yes.
But they weren't capable of interacting. Not like this strain. And that's it. It's strange. The sea swale talked about this. The R-type has different strains, and depending on which strain you're infected with, has different results. I'm not sure on what the specific versions do. She mentioned which one she believed I had.
And what if they think's going to happen to you? You're going to turn into like a spaghetti meatballs or something?
She said I was just going to die.
Oh, I guess that's better than turning into a monster.
I guess so. But maybe she was wrong. Maybe there's something she didn't calculate, or she was lying.
Maybe she's fucking insane.
Maybe she's insane.
I take anything that you can feel he wants to say the word creature, but instead he uses the term person with a heap of salt.
Because
All
we
right.
don't know how.
They sound deranged.
It's true.
All right, so you have this. That's all fucked. This entire shit's fucked, is what it is. All right,
It's a
so
drop.
what? This makes what they did on 128 look like nothing. This makes what they did on fucking the other one nothing. Like this is wild. This is like, did it come about naturally from the progression of the virus, or did they make it happen? That's a question. That's a very serious question, because if
They
they
wanted. I might be able to answer that one for you, actually.
no,
We've been finding logs by the researchers here on the station.
That's a good thing that something survived.
There's a lot of data to go through. But one of the lead researchers, Constanza, I believe her name is, she had a goal to create what seemed to be a perfect weapon, biological weapon. And I think that's what this started as. But mutation with purpose was the specific words. Forced evolution. Something that is perfectly adapted to its environment. But to do that, if they wanted something that would work for them, it needs to have some amount of sentience. It can't be mindless. They did. It looks like they tried tests with that and didn't work. So what if they tried to wane on it, see if they could get some sort of perfect combination, some sentience, so that they could create soldiers? Try and make Acadian all over again.
Yeah. Why use the virus to make Acadian? So, like, slaves suck.
That's the part that I'm stuck on. Why create a perfect soldier that is made specifically to prevent this perfect soldier you're creating from spreading? I don't know.
Alright, so maybe there's two separate things going on. Maybe there's what's a good fucking allegory? Maybe there's a weapon and then there's containment for that weapon.
I think so.
Maybe she was making the weapon and some other schmuck was making a soldier.
I don't think it was some other schmuck. Dr. Everett Hayes was behind the eye program. I wasn't sure if you went through the Cossacks registry, but I believe it's his granddaughter, was on board. So there was already something going on that we weren't aware of. There's a lot. There's a lot happening.
Oh. Those fucking corporals must have fucking known. She's probably working with them.
The question is she even still alive? We don't know.
Fuck.
But there's a lot happening here. We know that as far as the R-type goes, Sea Swale said that she was specifically immune to the R3. So, and she said what I had was R4. I don't know what the differences are there, but I'm willing to bet you the original R-type is what we see in the abominations out there.
Oh.
That's my current running theory.
Alright, so...
And then I think Everett was behind the eyes, which is... I have to double check something quick. Out of character.
Okay.
Oops. Oh, sorry, I should be checking my Roll20 more often. Let me do the roll quick. Let me roll this for brains, and I got many wound penalties. Yeehaw. Not 1810. Bad breed. You sure? Holy shit! Alright, 4 successes.
All right, so with 4 successes, as you are having a conversation with, Harkin and the conversation about mutation and change and whatnot, you are reminded of one thing. The ancient mutator mutagen that was used to, create the many forms of humanity of today.
Oh.
And how that technology was lost to even the Terrans with time.
But this
stuff is very similar. And just looking at Swale and how much they've mutated to better exist in this environment, and then the child who's lost their pigment and gained clear, muscle growth, clear preference for human flesh, which might be one of the more common proteins available, considering, the infected are still human at their core.
Hana stops mid-sentence. And he's like, "Oh, spirit."
Now you're getting religious on me.
Why didn't this occur to me earlier? Harkin.
What?
What is this all familiar to? Go back to your history lessons.
I can't think of any history lesson where...
Think!
I can't recall.
It's... every strain of humanity came from somewhere.
Yes, the original human stock.
Right. But we weren't all different originally.
Not really, no.
We were made to be adapted to new environments. The strains were created, purposeful mutagens, to exist in a better environment, which ended in clear phenotypic changes.
But the changes they're not consistent, because it's an active mutagen. Fuck.
But you get what I'm saying, don't you?
There's no way that this is the source of that mutagen.
I don't know if it's the source, but again, bringing it back to what we were talking about earlier, inspiration from a previously established but lost science. Maybe it's not the same, but it could be damn fucking close.
It's imitation of what there once was. And
exactly.
If they could get the imitation to work, how it previously worked, or a close approximation,
they could make any strain of humanity they wanted. For any environment. Imagine the use of that during a war.
They wouldn't need to tailor gene stock anymore. They could just make clones and then just alter them as they need fit, and then make more of that clone.
Exactly.
It really would be Cadians 2.0. Fuck.
I think we figured out what this drop's for.
This drop was their ace in the hole.
It makes sense. Every drop is dedicated to something. We saw that in the past, right? With the 100s being dedicated to technology or AI or trapping systems or weapons. We never saw one that was specifically dedicated to genetics.
Well, this is all relegated to just one section of this fucking place.
There's probably more. I agree. This place is definitely more. No drop is just one thing.
No, but fuck. This place was just for Ace in the hole.
Yeah.
It would have won the fucking war if whatever happened didn't happen.
But I think it got out. They weren't able to contain it. That's what it seems to be what went wrong.
Their
But
containment failed. Fuck, and it's had 600 years to mutate, with constant new genetic stock being introduced over
But they tried
a
to
600
salvage.
years period.
Exactly. But they tried to salvage the situation. We know that because they took bits and pieces of things discovered here and brought them to other scientific facilities across the galaxy.
What if that's not all what they're doing? Like, not all of it. What if NGR isn't just sending people here to try to achieve something, and each time they get a little bit closer? What if they're also sending people here to cultivate this genetic fucking virus?
New traits? So that the gene pool doesn't stagnate?
New traits, but also like new mutations.
Maybe. But the war's over. There's no way that anyone can control any of this, so it would seem pointless.
You wouldn't need to control it.
If it stabilizes itself.
Exactly. If it evolves into a new humanity, you wouldn't need to control it because now it can be reasoned with.
Maybe.
What
the So you think they're trying to stabilize it so that they have a new proper strain of humanity?
Fuck. So this Everett guy was working on the I series, right?
He was working on the I series. I'm not exactly sure what the I series is, but there is potential that it's related somehow to the ferryman. That's the theory, though. There's no proof.
Fuck. Well, shot in the dark. If the ferrymen are the culmination of that research, maybe that's why we don't let anyone leave. They're containing the situation. They're doing their fucking job.
Maybe. Because he wasn't in agreement with Constanza, ever. He seemed completely against her, actually. He wanted nothing about what he was doing to be involved with what she was doing.
Fuck.
So maybe he turned against her.
Maybe she turned against them.
Maybe. Or we can't count out that there was an entire potential third variable that we're not aware of yet that caused this.
We still don't know what the source of this shit is.
Exactly. We are still just looking at the R wing, R type, but there's entire other wings to this place that we don't know what they're dedicated to or for or about.
This is some fucked up shit.
So yeah,
Because
there's a lot.
if NGR and the other fucking corporals know that they've been willfully sending people into the meat grinder just to state this fucking thing. Because we had that crazy one on the fucking ship that was running amok and trying to, like, nab people.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That was like your fucking little girl and your fucking swale. Holy shit.
What?
That was one of the smart ones.
That got
They're
him.
fucking bees.
I'm trying to be serious, but I love the intensity he just said they're fucking bees.
They're
You
fucking
like
bees.
jazz, Harkin?
Holy fuck. Or ants, maybe. They're insects. Oh, I knew I should have fucking paid attention to my fucking social insect classes. Oh.
We believe that they might use pheromones.
They're fucking bees. They're looking for food, and they keep their food pinned down. That's why they have monsters constantly surrounding the fucking Rossi, because we're a food source, and we're not just a food source, we're a genetic stock for them. They're preserving us. There was a big one outside, a really, really, really big one, apparently. Like, that
When?
fucking thing. When all of this shit first happened, there was the big fucking roar and everything started, and then all of the little fuckers, like, all the crazy people started running away because of that thing. They could have gotten into Varasi. They ran away because they heard that thing. They were screaming about it, apparently, and there was comm chatter and shit. If there's a really big one, did you encounter like giant ones outside?
We encountered a couple anomalies. There was one that was large, and it had.
Could it break through a security door?
Maybe. I wasn't near it enough to see what it was fully capable of. I know that it allowed the infection in people to become a hot strain.
It allowed the infection to just. Oh my god! That the biology doesn't work that way.
We're dealing with something completely new, and I think maybe it's.
Shh. What if it's not new?
What do you mean?
You can like practically feel the crazed face right now. Like the intensity. All right. I'm not a geneticist, but you know that bullshit where they spout where like, oh, 90% of the human genetic code is all just bullshit left over from viruses and shit and random mutations and shit. You know that?
Right.
Viruses and shit.
Yes.
So, and there was a mutagen that they found on Earth. On Terra, way back when, that they used to change the genetic code to perfectly allow humans to adapt to new environments. Perfectly. Like, I don't know any instances of failures. The only failures that occurred is because the colonies collapsed, not because it turned them to goop. There should have been goop everywhere, but it never happened.
But there never was.
And we never think about that because it's just normal. We're just like, oh, that just didn't happen. What if it was already there all along, Kana? And that's what I was reacting to. It's because a thing emitting a pheromone wouldn't just cause the body to just change suddenly. That's not how biology works.
But you're saying that the people who reacted were already infected.
No. I'm saying we're all already infected. That's why the doctor can't cure it, because it's just activating what's already there in our genetic code. The virus.
You're saying that this isn't even something we got from coming here.
I'm saying it was already there, and that whatever they did is just waking up what's in our genetic code.
Oh my.
No. It's a crackpot theory. It's a crackpot theory, but it could be true. It could be true.
It's always been there.
And it's and like it doesn't explain how we're fucking bees. That's an entirely separate thing.
It's always been there. Harkin?
It's always been there. That's why people reacted to it. Like it's some sort of like genetic wake up sequence.
That changes the way you think.
That changes you on a biological level because you're already there. The mutations are already there. The changes are already there. The meat, the bones, it's already there. It's why it can do what it can do, because it's not propagating through the body because the body already recognizes it. And it's only like the stupid cells of a body which don't realize what it is, which try to attack it.
May I provide you with some case study?
Yeah. Hit me up.
So, as you are potentially aware, well, on our first outing, when everything was still very loud, I got into a near-fatal accident.
All right.
I was informed that something tried to take me. From the details I was given, it wasn't as severely mutated as some of the other things we've come across.
Yeah.
But point being, since then, there have been developments with me. And one of them, and I'm going to need you to put your judgments aside here, Doctor, is that I have instincts that are just going constantly. Instincts to eat, to spread, to grow. And it's non-stop.
When did those start popping up?
That's the thing, Harkin, they didn't. It feels like they've always been there.
You have a perfect memory.
I know. I don't forget things, Harkin. It's always been there.
Jesus fuck. Oh, it's not a crackpot theory. Well, it still could be there. There could be another explanation for that, but
What is the other
you're not
explanation?
getting better.
What?
You're not better.
Yeah,
You're
yes,
still
I am.
sick. You're still sick.
That makes no sense. Physically, I am recovered. I'm recovered, Harkin.
There's just a long silence.
Harkin?
This is why they want it so bad. Holy shit. A virus that can make someone healthy, and then they can pop up and affect everyone without anyone realizing it. Holy shit.
What are you talking about?
No wonder it got out.
Harkin, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about you, Hana.
I'm not. You're talking like I'm hyper-infectious.
You have to be.
They've taken samples. I have a clean bill of health.
But if it's already there, of course it's a clean bill of health. It's already done what it needed to do. It's already done it.
You're repeating that doesn't make any sense. People have encountered viruses in the past. In the past, the human genome is capable of fighting off viruses.
Maybe that's the case. The human genome is made up of thousands of fucking trials and errors of viruses. But what if it's... Fuck. I need to talk to that fucking doctor. Back to the bees.
Sure.
Fuck. 1 second, I need to drink something. All right.
That was amazing.
So, oh, fuck. All right. Sorry, I'm just sending a text message to Mindy. All right, sent.
Oh, that's fine. Take your time.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not like I'm going anywhere.
I'm losing my shit right now, okay?
Oh, you're losing your shit.
I'm
I'm
losing
glad.
my shit.
How's the lab? It's really nice, I imagine. This containment cell is a little stuffy.
I need to wear brown pants, okay? I'm old. Fuck. All right. So here's the deal. All right, so certain species of social insects store their food. Certain other species of social insects don't just store their food, they cultivate food. And they don't even need to be the ones manually doing it. Just by boxing something in, they can cultivate it. Humanity's been doing this forever.
Cattle.
They sent a smart one in that can access doors, that can unlock a ship that is locked down, and then put it back as if it was never touched. Because it was inside the ship before the rest of you came on, and the ship was already in lockdown. We only noticed it because it fucked up with one little detail. Because the Lorne happens to exist in the vents for some ungodly drifter reason. So,
But
we are
there's
their
a
storage.
There's a flaw with that plan.
What's that flaw?
To cultivate livestock, it needs to be able to cultivate.
They don't need for us to grow in number. They just need to get to us at some point or another.
So it's less like livestock and more like a freezer.
Storage. Exactly. It's more like a freezer. But they sent one of them in to get someone or something out. Genetic stock. Maybe. At first, I was thinking maybe it requires a younger child for the genetic stock, but we know there's Swale individual was a full-grown woman when I met them. So that's not it. So there's something that they're looking for in individuals, which relates to the other theory that it's all already there. They can find something about people, which they then use. And they then take them as breeding stock for them. They're cultivating themselves.
They're picking the best.
It's
Ram told me something about Mac once.
what? What?
She's true Terran.
In what context?
As in, from Terran.
So she's an actual test tube baby.
I don't think so. I think
that would mean that her mother is 100% Terran as well, and that can't be possible.
I don't know. I don't know the details. I just remember he mentioned it.
All right, so that is.
They did a genetic test and everything.
So that's a very genetically pure individual, then. Fuck.
If we're going off of that line of thinking, I'm a Halo. Am I being narcissistic? I need your input.
Halos generally lack eugenics because you fuckers mutations because you fuckers practice eugenics.
Right.
So most of Halo's population, from a technical standpoint, don't have a lot of the genetic defects that the rest of humanity suffers from.
Purebred.
Not so much purebred, but undamaged. Fuck. That's why they went after you. That's why they went after her.
So
And that's why they're just trying to kill the rest of us. They don't need the rest of us. We're just food. Just piles of fucking mush.
Is there a possibility that they will target people with the least... Sorry, give me a second.
Why? What's going on?
I just need a moment.
You need a moment? I need a moment.
Yes! Yes, I need a moment, Harkin.
I need a moment.
Well, take your fucking moment. What does that mean for us? Does that mean they does that mean they target those with the least genetic diversity first?
Genetic defects, I think, would be more accurate.
Sorry, the ones with
They,
the least genetically notable, the common man, the one who has nothing they need. Do they kill them first? Do they care if is there a pecking order?
yeah, there must be some sort of like unified fucking conscience or something that controls this because that's too fucking coordinated. So either there's a unifying conscience to them, or they are far more organized, and there's a lot more of them than we realize.
I think to some degree they're capable of communication. Not just vocally. Let's go back to the bees, shall we? Or ants.
The pheromones.
They can send signals. They can send signals, and those signals can be understood clear as day.
Dude.
And it can be...
Oh, fuck. Yeah, there was one on the ship. And ant signals can last for weeks. It's just a tiny little ant signal can last for weeks. I read it online. I hope that's false news. Oh.
If it marked the area, they know exactly.
You like insects, don't you?
Celeste would be a better person to talk to. She's guarding the area right now. Do you want me to call her over?
Yeah. I ask her how long, ant pheromones and like bee pheromones and shit like linger.
Sure. He goes over and knocks on his door. Celeste?
Eventually, Celeste comes on over.
Question for you. Ants, bees, how long do their pheromones usually last?
Well, most last for several minutes to a few hours and they decay rather quickly, but the ones that we use to lead to food and other such things, those can last for several days, even a few weeks.
Now, if we were to theoretically take an ant and make it the size of a person, do you think that would change how long those pheromones last?
Well, if we're scaling everything up, including the pheromone glands and their production rates, I would say that it might scale it up. The more so compounding issue is the amount of pheromones and the compound it's made out of, I guess. More of it does mean it lasts longer, but I think there's diminishing returns, I think. But yeah, let's say it goes up by like 50%. That sounds about fair.
So something that could be like a week could be 2 weeks.
Yes, that sounds about right.
Great. Do you know, by chance, when we had the initial infiltration, where they came in from?
We never found out how they came in from. We've checked everywhere.
Okay.
Current working theory is the airlock, like the main airlock that everyone else uses.
How does one get rid of pheromones?
Well, normally it involves some sort of chemical to remove it.
Okay. A very specific one, or one that can be manufactured on a ship?
Various common chemicals could work, but
do you know what those
normal
chemicals are?
cleaning supply should work. The best is vinegar, though. Like acids work really well, and bases. Well, no acids, because pheromones are normally a base themselves. So normally acids, yeah, if you use them, clean them up.
Can you do me a favor?
It depends what that favor is, Hana.
Can you talk to Rye and see what she used to clean the areas with. And if it wasn't cleaned with whatever you think would be able to get rid of a very strong pheromone, can you have someone clean it again?
I'm pretty sure Rye used like bleach and shit, and that would get rid of it. But I'll ask.
Okay. The scientists are talking, and we're thinking when that individual came in, they acted a lot like a bug in that sense, that they left something so that others can find us.
Well, that's alarming. It would explain why the ship was crawling in fucking bastards. Well, not crawling, but had several bastards.
He nods.
Alright, I'll go talk to Rye then.
Alright, thank you. Harkin, are you still there?
Yeah.
You got all that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck.
Well, Rye cleaned up all the spaces where there was blood and shit. That's not every location where they could have traveled. The entire ship needs to be fucking bleached.
Yep.
Inside and outside.
Doing the
That's
outside
not
is gonna be a lot.
feasible. It's not fucking feasible. But at least if we do the inside, if they somehow got into the ship, they wouldn't know where to go right away. Fuck.
Is there potential worry that those that are infected are giving off these pheromones without realizing it?
It's completely possible. Humans technically have our own pheromones. We just are so used to it that we don't fucking realize it. But
Yeah.
BO is technically a pheromone. Technically. So, yeah, if the virus was able to mutate your fucking sweat glands in order to release tracking pheromones and other shit, then yes, it would happen. But unless it can somehow leak out through your cog, it'd be a moot point. But every single time you get stabbed or shit, and every single time you get patched up, it would leak out a little bit. Fuck.
I'm gonna go put my cog on.
So now you agree with me that you're infected still?
There's not necessarily. It's just better safe than sorry.
Fuck. Fuck.
I mean, it's
We're
like when
talking about Mint, and now we've like unraveled the truth of the universe that like whatever was fucking here was also on Earth. Fuck.
Yep. Maybe if we get bored of figuring out how to track the ferryman, we can figure out how to track this goddamn pheromone.
I wouldn't even know where to fucking start. I'm not a biologist.
I'm not either.
And our closest fucking person to a biologist is a fucking gun nut.
Actually, I think... Didn't we just... one of the doctors that came on. Let me check quick. If I remember correctly, one of them was not exactly biology, but I think their field was similar. Genetics, maybe? One second, I'm checking through real quick. Engineer. Neuroscience. That's the closest we got.
Fuck. We need a biologist.
We don't have a biologist.
But we need a fucking biologist. All right. I think it's enough existential crises for a moment. I'm gonna get a new whiteboard and start like fucking scoping out just how radical this shit is if it's true.
Okay, you start on that. I'll focus on the ferryman,
All right.
and we'll reconvene later.
Yeah. And hangs up.
He just sits there in the room. Okay, goodbye. Thanks.
So, did you enjoy?
Holy shit, man.
Shitting
I have-
fucking Christ.
I have so many notes.
Also,
Chance.
I just want to say, what if
Mhm.
what if it's just a crackpot fucking theory?
What if it is? I don't think it is.
What if it is?
But it could
Holy
be.
fucking shit.